Morning, it's Jonathan Barrett with the morning debrief. The current time is 7:48, and good to see the Dow closed up 69 points at just up 0.5%. The S&P was up 0.85, and the Nasdaq was up 1.36. Still a lot of concerns in Europe, but it seems to be the market is focusing more on the domestic positive economic news out of the States, which I think is quite interesting. So quite happy about that at the moment. And we had some good numbers last night, particularly retail sales, which came in a little bit better than expected. Okay, let's just run through some of it. And of the news, US stocks advanced on Italian optimism. That's okay. Still some concerns there. There's no doubt about it. Europe obviously came under a lot of pressure. I guess the most important stuff here is some of that data. And you can see that the electronics boost US retail sales, which was quite good. Also, Empire manufacturing and confidence was also up pretty well as well. So that sort of just helped those bulls along. We are starting to get that feeling. We're starting to get that feeling that that the numbers in the States are looking okay. There'll be a green light, I think, to when we can buy equities again. Still not 100% sure yet, but I think it is coming close. So I actually feel that if we can start to get some momentum out of Europe, then I think happy days. One of the concerns in Europe, once again, is France now. France's exposure to Italy, Italy's exposure to, obviously, and it goes through the numbers, to everyone else. I guess the key there is what's really happening there in terms of the 10-year bond, and that's been the litmus test, I guess, Italian 10-year bond litmus test for how everything's going. And at the moment, that's certainly looking at 7%. At 7%, it was the same time that Ireland looked for a bailout, Greece looked for a bailout, and also Spain. So still concerns out there, and we've just got to monitor things. Okay, let's have a look now at the markets. Looking at world indices. Dow Jones, we know, was up 58, the S&P was up 9, and the Nasdaq was up 34. Still relatively negative in Europe. The top 50 was down 34, the FTSE was down 1.6, CAC was down 59, and the DAX was down 51. So there's still quite a lot of nervousness out there in the market, and that's sort of certainly we're seeing that through the equity prices. Having a look at the local market, and where to close on SciComm, closed at up 12, 4,319. Let's have a look at the commodity markets. I guess first of all, off the rank, let's look at energy. That spread continues to come in. Brent was up 1.06%. West Texas was up 1.47%. That certainly puts that spread a little bit better. That spread's come into, as you can see, 13 points there, right? So $13. So that's been a terrific trade for a lot of us. So let's see how that goes. West Texas up $1.4, 99.58. 100 is the key level there. Have a look at commodities. Corn was up 11. Cotton was up 4. Good strong move there, 4%. Everyone knows the feeling we've got on cotton and why we like it. So it's in that range. A breakthrough 104.50. 105 is the key for that trend continuing. Wheat was up 9 and up a bit. And soybeans are up 22, 1200, relatively strong there. Copper was up 1, only a fraction, 352, still in that range, so a little bit untidy there. Gold, strong night, up $7 at 17.85. It's currently trading at 17.82 at the moment. Silver up a half there, half a cent at 34.59. Let's have a look at some of the markets. I think the most important one there is the dollar index, and it seems to be oscillating quite nicely. If it takes out this high at 78.50, then that trend will resume. I am a little bit nervous about this divergence here on an hourly basis. And that divergence there probably suggests that the dollar is in for a little bit of weakness. But when we certainly look at the other charts, it seems to be holding quite nicely. It's sort of like just edging higher and higher, that US dollar. So be guided by that break to the top side there. And also, if you like, through that 77 on the downside. How's that affecting the Aussie? Aussie stay relatively stable, though we do expect a little bit of a bounce from that Aussie. As we said, in line with US dollar weakness, perhaps see that Aussie trade back to the top side. Naturally, a break below this area here, 1005, that sort of suggests the US dollar will firm for some reason. But given the up-and-coming announcements that we're seeing, the market has been fed with more optimism and good economic numbers out of the States, so we think that'll be quite supportive. Okay, that's the Aussie. We mentioned that. Gold, 1783, be guided by here, breakthrough that 1764, and also breakthrough 1800. That's the current range for it. So that looks all right. Okay, that's the Aussie, and I'll turn that off. That's the Aussie wheat. Interesting chart here, up 2.56%. Quite a strong move. And they're bounced around its lows. We sort of looked at that trend as if it might actually break. We actually reduced some of our positions, which we thought was a prudent thing to do last night. We're still long, but we're cautiously taking out some of the position just because it broke through a significant trend there. Corn, you can have a look on a daily basis and you can see that there you go. That's that trend. Well, in my mind now, it looked a little bit weak. It has held on that trend. Perhaps we're just a little bit too eager to reduce some of the positions. Anyway, let's see how that unfolds. Looking at crude, as we see 100s up there, that's where that's tough resistance. Just looking at the Dow, and you get a sense that it's just under it's still nervous area. I mean, can you buy, can you sell it? You can't do much, but the indications in my mind are keen up for a move to the top side. But this momentum indicator just looks awful. Okay, now in terms of economic calendar now, what have we got coming out? It's Wednesday, obviously big night tonight, except for Australia we've got wage cost index, and in the States CPI, that'll be the key, consumer, TICS data as well, industrial production and capacity utilisation. All these numbers are expected to show some positiveness towards the market, okay? So let's see, but generally looking for things to remain a little bit better bid than offered. Okay, that's a little bit, that's all from me. I hope everyone has a happy day, happy trading, and we'll certainly talk to you later, and bye for now.